Minutes past 10 o'clock. Welcome to Night Talk with me, Zai Khan. What a show we have for you. And starting off the show, I'm going to let someone very important set the tone for you beautifully, soulfully, classically, nostalgically. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the one and only Connie Mashaba. Take it away, Herman.
Oh, thank you so much, Zai, and good evening to SAF listeners. Really, what a privilege, what a pleasure to be here on a Monday night. And my goodness, you guys are naughty to play the kind of music that would really take me back, 50 odd years or something? You know, King Curtis. One of my favorite musician and artist. My wife knows, who's here with me, that on Friday or Saturday I could sit on my own. I still play LPs, vinyls.
Oh yeah.
I can sit, play music until 3, 4 in the morning on my own. But we used to do this when we were still young. When we got married and we're still young, and
We're still young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
do it. Connie, the beautiful Connie Mashaba.
We still do it. It's lovely to be here. Good evening to you, Zai, and SAFM listeners. It's just a privilege to be here tonight. And yes, we used to play this. We still do it on Fridays. We still dance together. But I think I'll probably get a bit older and leave him because he wants to sleep at 4 o'clock. And I can't wait until 4 o'clock on a Saturday. But it's that's what keeps us young.
Clearly,
after
shows.
so many years. Yes.
After so many years.
Yes.
And you still look immaculate. It must be the products that you use. We're talking about this legacy brand,
Yeah, well, I think what's interesting is that our business is now 40 years and 8 months. We started the business in Harangu industrial area, 200 square meter factory, January of 1985. And we made the first invoice of Black Like Me went out on the 14th of February 1985. That's when we made the first invoice and started getting cash in. And Connie was there with us from day one. Just the three partners and Connie looking after the factory. And then we'll move into a few months later, move into another 200 square meters. 18 months later, we were occupying the 5 out of the 10 units. But then it was difficult to operate the factories from different places. And then eventually we rented from a Botswana Development Corporation a 1,500 square meter factory. Yeah, and by 1990 we had built our own factory, 6,000 square meter factory.
it just gets bigger and better. Bigger and better.
Yeah. I think we were very, very fortunate. We were the first or the second manufacturers of black hair products. And it was very interesting when we started, to think that we started on the 14th of February, although we didn't know what Valentine is at the time. I think we come from the old generation. So we could have said it's special, but it was just one of those days. And it was very interesting when we started.
Well, if you've just joined us and you're wondering what this is all about legacy. This is all about resilience. This is all about pride. 40 years. Yeah. 40. They say, how long does it take to be an overnight success? 40 years.
Oh, no, we still got a long, long, long way to go. Our daughter has now joined her mom in the business. So we'd like to see her children, our grandchildren, still being involved in the business. That's personally what I'm working
what the legacy
towards,
is all about.
So from the power couple to handing the baton to the next generation and the next generation
absolutely
to come. And the fact that your daughter is part of the business now and, it reminds me of how you've had your humble beginnings, Herman, when you started off with that loan of 30,000 rand. During apartheid, you started a business. What were you thinking? What was going through your mind?
You know, I'm actually saddened by the loss of one of the the funders of the business, Mr. Moja. They used to call him in Haramkua Zone 16. He had a big the supermarket called Uncle Ned's supermarket. Him and Walter Dube are the two gentlemen or entrepreneurs who Joseph and I approached for a loan. We wanted 30,000 rands, and they was 24 at the time, and Walter and Uncle Nets were almost double our age. They were fathers to us. So we approached them with our proposal. I said, Mr. Dube, we found a machine to legally print money. And I always tell the story. People think it's a joke, and I used to talk to Walter about this when the wife introduced us to him. And I said, we're not here to play, Mr. Dube. We've got a machine to legally print money. And lucky, Joseph and I, we had our the commission receipts. I was selling for 19 months, and I think Joseph for about a year or so. So we made a brand called Supercal. In a matter of 19 months, we made it a top brand in the country. So that's why Black Like Me, in a matter of 5 years, with 30,000 rands loan, in 5 years, we turned it into a top brand, building our own factory, 6,000 square meter factory. And what is actually quite interesting about our journey that majority of South Africans are not aware about, that we started Black Like Me, but in the process started other black entrepreneurs with businesses. The company that built our factory was the business that we started, a construction company. So they built our factory, and we're building other houses, including our house in Soshanguve. We built a double-storied house with swimming pool, tennis court, built by our own company.
So what we did, we sort of developed other entrepreneurs. So we didn't say it was only ours. So, we had other entrepreneurs who were supporting our brands. Let's say, for instance, if we wanted shower caps, we'd get the shower caps from an industrial person. And if we wanted anything to do with the salons, we always made sure that we work with the people that we knew. Even we had what you call also vertical integration, where we had others, people who started the independent stores. Yeah. We also developed them as well, so that it's not only us who were business people, yes, but also people around us as well.
So each one teach one.
And the thing is, this, I make actually sometimes people don't understand why I get angry when people tell us as black people, we can't work together. I'm a living example of partnerships and working together as black people under really difficult, trying times, when we were not allowed to start business at the time. How I went around the country, Connie knows, I would leave home on a Monday, come back on Friday night or Saturday, going around the country, establishing black distributors in the townships, starting salons. I bought an American training company to ensure that our people get proper training of hairdressing to really make it a career. And 1994, that's why I got so disappointed when our current government really destroyed the spirit of entrepreneurship in our communities. And it makes me very angry. And my wife would always say to me, but I see you on television, why are you always so angry? I said, there's nothing to really be happy about. I'm angry because we've destroyed the potential of our people. We could operate under that evil system of apartheid, and now we thought we'll have a government that would make it easy for us, because I didn't need any favors from the ANC or from government, but I needed government that can create an enabling environment to all of us to succeed. Because during apartheid, it was really very difficult, state of emergency,
Yeah.
people, our leaders being arrested, people disappearing, you know. And so we thought now with the advent of our democracy under Nelson Mandela, we're going to see an explosion of our talent. Unfortunately, the communists came and look at what happened.
Okay.
Well, nothing lasts forever. And I know, Connie, this is for you. When we come back, I want to ask you, what was it like supporting Herman with his grand schemes, grand idea? Yeah, he secured that 30,000 Rand, but you're going to have to take us back to what were you thinking about this man and his plans? When we come back right after this break.
032 Night Talk, Monday to Thursdays, 10 to midnight.
It's 20 past 10, and you can give us a call as well on 086 000 2032. Send us a WhatsApp on 061 410 4107. What do you remember about the first time Black Like Me entered your home? Because entering the chat now is Connie Mashaba, the better half of Herman Mashaba, and I can see why when Herman mentioned, he married this beautiful woman, but I think he didn't realize he got a package deal, a beautiful woman with brains. That's a dynamite combination.
So you're so kind. You're very, very kind. Yeah, I think the journey was a very interesting journey. I used to work for Southern Sons head office in Sandton in 1982 or so, and Herman was a hustler. He did tell me that he doesn't want to really be employed by one person, so he was selling crockery, cutlery, whatever that he could get, his hands, on. And somewhere along the line, he met this company, Super Curl, and that's where he started selling the hair products. And then he decided, him and his partners, colleagues, decided that they wanted to start their own business. And that's when he came to me and said, you know what, with two sales guys and a chemist, we need an administrator. At the time, I was earning about 800 Rand at Southern Sons, and I said, how much are you going to give me? And he said, we can only afford 400 Rand. But I think for me, it wasn't even about the money. By then we were already married, and it was about the future. It was about the adventure, because I know he's very adventurous. I mean, everything that he touches. I mean, Herman can sell you ice when you are in Alaska or whatever. So I used to go with him when he went to do his pitches, selling fire detectors. There is
What?
no fire detectors.
Okay.
There was no way that when we leave, the deal is not done. Because obviously the way he scares this family that by the time he leaves, there will be fire and their kids will be under, they will be hurt. So I knew how he sells. I knew that he would be successful in anything that he touches. And that's when I joined. We started together, from the same day. And I used to be in the office doing administration. We didn't have a phone at the time. So we had a phone in the car. A Siemens phone. So I would be in the office, and if people want to put on orders or I want to communicate with the suppliers, the phone will ring. I leave my office, run outside to get to the car and, answer the phone and do the orders. And in the interim, when I'm not very busy, I would be putting in the sprays in the bottles. So that was our lives. But it was exciting because I think we saw the opportunity and we knew what we were doing. The good thing that what we were doing was to changing the lives of a lot of Black women.
Yeah.
To give them the best version of themselves. We knew that we were solving a hair problem.
Absolutely.
So, once you know that you are solving something in your business, you know that it is sustainable. So that was the story. It was very exciting.
And that sold you on it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And here we are. I've been working for this company for almost 40 years.
What? You're a brilliant salesman to still have invested in this company after all these years, Herman.
Yeah, well, I don't know. For some reason, I've always believed in. Look, I think my grandfather taught me to accept that I'm not complete. I need to always surround myself with strong people. You know, for me, if one reads my books and you listen to me, one of my biggest fears in life is to be surrounded by weak people. You know, I feel vulnerable, and you know why I'm scared of being surrounded by weak people, because I've accepted and I've been taught by my grandfather that life is not perfect. I must use this little brain to navigate, to find solutions to these complex problems. So now, because I take it all the time that life is not perfect, I'm not surprised by challenges. So every time I come across a challenge, I look for a solution. You know, but sometimes I make mistakes. I'm a human being. I'm fallible. You know, so if I don't have people who are going to really have the boundaries, and I've been one of the luckiest things that I've ever achieved was to get married to Connie, because she protected me from myself. She's a very strong person. If she doesn't agree with me, she doesn't agree with me. Whereas other people would just let you carry on because they can't challenge you. And I'd really regard myself to be someone who listens. But I listen to, you have to convince me.
There's a but.
Yes, you've got to convince me. I don't, I mean, I've got a viewpoint. I'm not the one influenced. I don't do what other people do, because one thing about success, and I read, and I'm an avid reader of books. If you look at people who've succeeded in life, those who come out with something new. You're not a Me Too type person. Yeah. I'm not a Me Too. So it doesn't mean that if I'm in a place, I listen to someone and I take whatever he tells me or she tells me to be the ultimate. No, I've got to make up my mind and I take responsibility for it.
Connie, you want to say something about this?
Yes, I do. I think to be with her man, especially in business, is quite challenging. Because you have to convince him, you argue a lot, and sometimes you put your foot down, and sometimes you say, I agree, we agree to disagree. But I think he's very fortunate in the sense that in many instances, whatever he sets his eyes on or his hands on, he succeeds. But that doesn't mean that we should just let him loose, so we have to always try to rein him in a little bit. So I think that's a partnership that we have.
All right, we've got a caller on the line. We're going to go straight to there to find out. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you very much for accepting my call. And hello, you two. Congratulations, 40 years down the line.
Hi, baby.
Who's that?
I know the voice.
Baby Sibulai. Oh, my former personal assistant.
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness, from Mabopane.
Yeah. I'm so proud. I'm so proud to have you on radio because, knowing Black like me, it made my life too. A few years I was there and it was very good. It was very, very wonderful. We were talking about it to some friends the other day, remembering even the chill times, the parties we used to throw for the stuff.
That was good days, huh? Those were the good days. Those were the good days. Thank you so much.
And keep going. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Auntie Baby.
All right. Thank you.
I love that Auntie Baby's call shows that you guys weren't just business people. You were real people. You had real connections with people, regardless of where they, in the hierarchy of the business.
Zai, I think in life you have to really be for everyone because as you rise, you must bring other people. And when you work with people, you are colleagues. You are not a boss or whatever. Obviously, there will be times when you have to play the boss type. But other than that, we are all colleagues. And that's how Black Like Me grew the way, up to where we are today.
Tell us about Connie. She works with you guys side by side for how many years? And your PA?
Well, the only time I left the business was in 2005 or so. and gave to Connie the responsibility, and then I focused on looking after our family investments. And then when I went into politics in 2016, I gave a full responsibility for business. So I'm no longer a business. I don't know how to make money any longer. I hope I haven't forgotten.
So you don't know how to make money, but you know how to spend
I hope
money.
I haven't forgotten.
But he spends it. He spends it. Yes,
What's
yes.
about to say?
But I must say, Zai, I think, the good thing is that we work together as partners. And I think it's important that in life, when you have a wife or a husband, you work together so that, I always say, in the event that he's not gone, I mean, he's gone, whether divorced or passed away, I should be able to take care of, the family.
Yeah.
So what happened in the interim, I made sure that I skill myself, I develop myself so that I'm ready, to take over the business. And here I am. Had I not skilled myself and I not developed myself, I don't think I would be able to do what I'm doing today. Yes.
All right, we're going to go straight to voice notes. Let's go straight to it.
Good evening. Herman was a very, very lucky man. To find a woman who will support you in your new inventions when you start something. It's very rare to find such a woman. Then you are blessed. Herman, in the 80s or in the 80 something, I used to read about him in magazines like Bona and True Love and the others. You know what? He was my role model. You are my role model, my man. I want to tell you because you showed black excellence that black people can start something and be sustainable. You know what? I won't forget you. You gave me that motivation because as black people, we were not used to self-employment where you can start something and be successful. Adam, thank you.
Hello, Zai Khan, how are you? Mr. Mashaba, Haman Mashaba, how are you? I'm Nathan Ike from Bombera. Chief Mashaba, I would like to ask, there is a friend of mine, he was telling me, went in Uganda to open a business, but it was difficulty. But tell me the story. How was it? How did it go there? Because I'm a Ugandan by nationality, but I'm living here for more than 18 years. Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye, sir. Have a blessed evening and prosperous New Year's to come.
Wow.
I don't know if he's talking. You remember, my dear, we had a distributor from Dr. I can't remember his name because it's many years ago, from Uganda. I remember.
Yes, I know.
I remember actually going to Kampala back in, I think, 1999 or 98, somewhere there. There was a distributor. It was a medical doctor. Came to South Africa actually in the 80s. I don't know what actually happened to him.
But he had good business.
But he had it.
Yeah,
he was our distributor in Uganda. But obviously, now that I left the business myself directly over many years, I've lost contact with people. So my wife and the team would obviously know, including our new partners in our business.
So you've had already quite a journey. I mean, you've got from Hammanskraal to Kampala,
to Kenya, to Cameroon,
UK now.
Yeah, UK, and
yeah, we've been around for a long time, Zai. We've been around for a long time.
And I'm thinking that the fact that Uganda was checking in, there could be another revival coming somewhere.
You never know.
Africa.
I should do something.
Connie, that's a lead right there.
It is definitely a lead. Yeah.
And our first listener, AD, calling as well. It's so interesting to hear that a lot of people believe in luck, but you know what, Herman, you were so wise. You were wise to have curated someone like Connie, because you knew, even then, before what you know now, that, she was going to be part of your strategy, your resilience, everything just literally holding everything up together?
Well, I think this didn't happen by luck. Getting married didn't happen by luck. It happened because I needed stability in my life. And when I approached Connie to come and join us in our business, I can tell you, if we did not have Connie in our business, the people would have stolen us out. Because we used to be all the time on the road. And at the time, remember, when we started our business, we used to sell on cash basis.
Yeah.
Hard cash, even our suppliers, because we're buying from big companies, the raw materials. They
Yeah.
didn't know who we were. So we had to go and buy raw materials on a cash basis. So our chemist, Johan Krill, sometimes actually used to be in Joburg from Garankuwa 2 or 3 times a day, because the rate at which Joseph and I were selling, and we were buying on cash basis, and then we were getting cash from the clients. Now you can imagine if we did not have Connie there. I realized this before I went into business, that I needed someone I could really trust. And
This is before the corruption name happened, So, so there was no corruption at the time. So,
I love that this teamwork makes the brand work. We're gonna go to Max. Hamans Kral checking in. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, my hero. I just want to say this. You have my hero in the studio there.
Oh, man.
And my hero. And that man, you speaking to Max for the first time in my life, calling radio. He wear my real name. I'm actually Brahim, and I'm standing at the BP Mobile.
okay.
I pulled on the side just to talk to you because I was driving from Pretoria. But then I actually made a trip. This is an emotional call to me. I made a trip on the previous 2 weeks to go to BNDC, which is just the office just next to where I am.
yeah,
right
no,
now.
no, yes, that's right.
Yes,
Those offices
Used to be Standard
decayed.
Bank.
No, just to be
Standard Bank.
No, Standard Bank was on the other side. BNDC offices taking care of Beleg industrial area, completely destroyed like Johannesburg City.
Yeah, that's actually where I wanted to go.
That BP garage where you're standing used to be a big Toyota dealer in the
Yeah,
70s.
I'm sorry to say the name.
Yes,
Budisatwa
no,
Toyota.
why should you be sorry? It was Buputatwana.
You know that when I went there, I actually met a certain lady who's working there. I was Kate, and then it was so emotional for me. When I was there, I look at the infrastructure, the tractors that used to clean that place, all the infrastructure, the way it is destroyed. I actually made a trip again, just to go around the factory. I went to Springbok, I went to Tigray, I went to all those factories, Botswana style, at least some cartels is still existing and so forth and so forth. The entrepreneurs that used to be there, Buntate Sentle, the shop that used to be on the corner.
Subukedi used to run that.
There by next to Springbok. I went to Garankuwa. I look at your factory. To be honest with you, I shed a tear. I would pass through OD Stadium. I was so destroyed. I stand there. I ask myself a question. Ntate Mangope had a vision. The leaders that we have in this country, can't they at least see the vision? Just only one of them be touched and had that vision that Ntate Mangope had. And then I've looked at all the leaders that we have in this country. There's only one person when I pray that ghost shows me, and it's you. While see, Ogare, God can strengthen and open the eyes that South Africans have. You made it. I still remember the Porsche that you used to drive. That day, I think you had a partnership with Morgan Molanda.
Molanda, yes. Cannot drive on Porsche. I never. I had a Mercedes Benz.
I still remember.
I wasn't one for the Porsches, but I had a Mercedes Benz 280
you had a
SE.
Mercedes-Benz, he had a Porsche. And I still remember, was it YBB or YBX65 or something like that? I still remember even the number plate of that. Because I came from 1 in 10, and then Tatemulondo was coming from there.
That's right.
And then we were like, we were like family. When I look at you, you are still an admiration to me. That is why I say you are my hero. I wish God can just, people of South Africa can see the person that you are and the leadership in business and in the constructive development of this country that you can contribute and give you a chance.
Thank you.
And I want to thank our Mama Kamo, Mama Mashaba, the protection, the vision, the support that you give to Tate Mashaba. You can have a school where you can school our black African women on how to support their men. Because when men are supported by people like yourself, they will definitely make it to the extreme. Everything, the ideas that they have. And we let people like you, Mama, Raholebucha, for giving us a hero like him and giving him to the platform to take out the potential that he has. Thank you, Mashabas. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate that.
We so
You've made our day.
Yeah. Max, that's
Definitely,
powerful.
you've made our day.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when I joined politics, being the mayor of the city of Johannesburg, how determined I was to fix this city, because this country can be fixed. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. And
hold that thought, because we've just got to get some bills paid. While we do that, we want to expand more on how we can build this city.
This Women's Month, SAFM stands with the women. Night Talk, Monday to Thursdays, 10 to midnight.
Welcome to it. You're listening to me, Zai Khan. Before the break, Herman Mashaba was speaking with fire in his voice about something that's bigger than any brand, bigger than, I think, any business. It's about building a country. Fixing.
Yeah, no, I think it really hurts me when, I had to, unfortunately, take a decision October 1999 to leave right in the middle of this big projects to revitalize our city. Already 32 billion rands of investment secured, signed through, going through council to create with immediate effect 22,000 jobs, creating in the history of South Africa 14,000 housing units in the city of Johannesburg. And I had committed to people of Johannesburg that I've identified over 600 buildings and sites, and I will, at least a minimum of 100 of them, I'll give them to the private sector to create opportunities for our people, so that our people can take back the city, live in it, go to clubs, to go to the arts, work in the city, to have our people running businesses. Unfortunately, some people felt that I was concentrating too much energy on poor communities, and decided to call the NC for my removal, and decided, look, being a mayor was the last job in the world I needed, and decided I'm not going to wait to be voted out by motion of no confidence, so I gave up.
Sometimes there's a trick in walking away from something that no longer serves you, and you get a sense that you were done, and you were not going to compromise your values, your ethics, everything you've built to be undermined in such a way.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And I've walked away from lots of so-called opportunities, because I think no one can buy me. You'll never buy my soul. My soul has never been on sale throughout my life.
I'm going to use that a lot. Your soul is not for sale. Connie, I feel like this is your soulmate in a way, because you both almost finish each other's sentences. You know exactly what the other one is thinking when he's speaking. I can see your bubble, literally. You want to, come
I want
in.
to interject.
Yes,
Yes.
and you want to add.
No. I know. I mean, obviously, I don't come from the politics side, and I think when he speaks about that he wants and he's sold, and I think it goes back to business. Even up to today, people that he started working with in the industry, whether it be chain stores or independent stores, they still regard him as someone who has the integrity, someone who they can be comfortable to do business with. And I think that has followed him up to today. So even in our business, the teaching that he always says to me, you know what? Whatever you do, make sure that you are not compromised. Because if you are compromised, it's your reputation. So you must guard your reputation thoroughly, 100%. And that's what we do. Whenever we do our business, we've got to do it fairly and equitably.
Yeah.
And be tough.
And be tough. Make the tough decisions.
And make tough decisions, yeah. So that's what we do. I mean, even in our business right now, whatever that we do, I still follow his examples. Yes, people used to say, are you going to get into the big shoes? I said, no, I'm going to create my own shoes. It's his shoes, and then he walked, he's doing something else, and then I have to concentrate on the business. And here we are today. We talk about a 40th celebration of Black Like Me, and how we see it as a legacy, how we see it, go through even when possibly we are gone, because we're not here for good. So how do we make sure that we leave a legacy and make sure that whatever that we do is relevant to the current, consumers? And that's what my daughter always says. Whatever we do, we can't just do things that you guys did in 1990, 1985. And we have to really, be relevant, evolve as a business, as a brand.
And it kind of reminds me about where we put our trust, Herman, again, in leaders, right? And too often we feel betrayed, especially the politics, and it lets us down. So in truth, then, do we turn to entrepreneurship? Do we back businesses? Is that then, the sort of silver lining for us? Because, like you said, you had this vision for our inner city, only to have the carpet pulled underneath you.
Well, look, unfortunately, you'll always from time to time encounter challenges in your life. But I think, one thing that we've missed, but it's not dead. As long as some of us are still alive, we will work towards ensuring that we reinvent what we've lost. We're not the only country in the world to experience problems. Look at what happened to Germany after the Second World War. It was completely destroyed. They managed to rebuild it. So for anyone to tell us we cannot rebuild what the ANC has destroyed, I'm the last person to accept that. I'll never accept a failure in life, and I believe in our people. We have weaknesses like everybody else everywhere in the world, but this country, there's got some great people. They just really need the political leadership that can create an enabling environment. And unfortunately, at the moment, the future looks bleak. But at the same time, some of us, in fact, for me, I always see opportunities when it is dark.
Yeah.
That's where I see opportunities. Whereas some people say they want to give up. And I've really been really so fortunate when I was really heartful with what was happening in our country. And I said to my wife, I'm not going anywhere. Our daughter was saying, but let's to move somewhere else. And I said, I'm not going anywhere. God will punish me. And my wife has been really very supportive of my new
adventure.
life. Yeah, my new
Another
adventure.
And a tough one. But I wake up, I live a life of purpose.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of purpose, the fact that you have trust in the next generation, letting go, was that easy for Herman, Connie?
It wasn't easy.
I can imagine.
It's not still easy right now because each time I do something, he has to know exactly what is it that I'm doing, and he tells me how to do it. And so, because I'm also strong, I do listen to him, when it's a constructive, advice. But at the same time, I think there has to be that kind of umbilical cord, so that we can do. He's focusing on politics and I'm focusing on business. But we are partners also in business, so we meet every, 3 months to talk about what's happening in our business and give him some reports, because he's worked very hard in his life, so he's got to really enjoy the benefits of what he worked for.
Absolutely. I want to
Yes.
talk about that enjoyment, but whether it's business, politics, everyday life, we want to hear from you. What's on your mind? Let's go to Limpopo, where Samuel is on the line. Hey, Samuel.
Yeah.
You're live on air, Samuel.
Hello.
Hey, yeah. Welcome to the show.
Yes. I'm saying Oberman.
Deperile.
Yes.
Hi, Samuel.
Good evening.
Good evening, Samuel. How are you?
You promised us that you will come back here in Ilim and then to a royal crawl and you'll be speaking fluent English. Yes,
But,
we have much
okay,
view. The time you came,
Samuel,
the royal crawl is waiting for you.
Yes,
Oberman, thanks for representing us, but you didn't tell those people that you are the son from the royal crawl of Njaganjaka, Nsiluman. Yes, I had to tell you today.
Samuel,
So, Herman, so our problem now, when it's just in respect of that Lemana school there. Our high school is not yet, our college is not yet open, but last you promised that you see to it that you come back and then we'll discuss about it. You remember when we were in Chaba?
Because
Elim said the last you came at Chavani there.
Yes.
Yes. So when you came at Chavani, so the royal crown from Jagan and Elim to, because you have two countries here. You have Ilim, Jagan, you have Chavani at the other side.
Okay.
So he came at Chavani there. So and then we met you, and then we discussed with you. We said, no, after this, and then I'll come back, and then you take me to Lemana, and then you show me what is taking place there. Just because the problem that we're having is that all our colleges here, in fact, we fall under Vembe, and Vembe is the combination of former Gazangulu and former Vel.
Mm-hmm.
So all these homelands, they were having in teachers' colleges.
Mm. I remember very well in the 80s, yes. In fact, Samuel, one thing I can actually promise you, because that's the reason why I'm doing this job, so that we can find long-term, sustainable problems to our challenges. I can tell you, Action SA has taken a decision not to contest all the municipalities come the next election. But Vembe municipality is one municipality where we are going to contest. We, as Action SA, we've really identified great activists where we know that chances of anyone governing there without Action SA is going to be very difficult. We're working very hard, and once we're in government, we can then provide a bigger solution.
Thank you so much, Samuel. More than just a call there. It's a homecoming, I feel, for you, Mr. Royal, from the Royal Kraal. You belong to the Royal Kraal, according to Samuel. So do you feel like there's a deep connection to certain parts of the country for you, considering at one point you were homeless? Take us
From
there.
the time I was born in 1959 until 1994, I was literally homeless because stateless. Because what happened is when the Manscal was turned into Buputatswana, everybody could get Buputatswana IDs. And for me being a Shangan, Tsonga, they said, no, you must go to Kazankulu. Where's Kazankulu? Oh, my goodness, God knows for sure. I don't forget always looking in behind to my mirrors, because it's a very important. So never only got South African citizenship in 1994. and to think my family lived in Amanskraal as far as I can I know, because the graves are there. 4 generations of family members who are there in Amanskraal. And now all of a sudden I must go to Gazankul. Where is Gazankul? My grandfather was a proud Tsonga man, and my father died when I was 2 years old. But my grandfather was born just outside Garangua, my grandfather, and got married to my grandmother in Amanskraal. So my family comes from the end. From my mother's side, it comes from Majaning, which is on the other side of Babelek industrial area. So my roots are in Amanskraal for at least 4 families that I can
attest
I
to.
can show you the graves on both sides of my family.
Thank God it's over. We're no longer in the homelands. We are in our country, South Africa.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I'm a proud. But I've always been a proud person. No one has ever really tampered with my dignity. I rejected, even during the dark days of my country's history. I refused. I was a cheeky black. You know what a cheeky black is? I've always been a cheeky black.
And always will be.
Yeah, no, and I'm going to die cheeky black.
Well, wherever you are, wherever you're listening to Herman and Connie Mashaba, it's your turn to speak. We're going to open the lines, take some voice notes. Whether you're in Hammanskraal, Durban, Cape Town, Limpopo, we want to hear from you. What does Black Like Me mean to you? What are your memories of Herman and Connie's journey? I mean, they've shared so much with us, and I think the way he speaks about entrepreneurship, you get a feeling that this is also a key to building our country. Let's go to the lines.
Your aura, your skill, and your charisma onayo Ntate Mashaba, siyabulela kakhulu kuwe bawo. Nakumama ukhoni lapho. Siyabulela kakhulu nakuwe, co-jointly with you. Siyabonga to see some pockets of excellence anjengalawo that we have by some leaders as yourself.
Hi Zai, it's great to listen to the Mashabas. Can they tell us the secret as a couple of trusting each other? How do they do that? How do they manage to sustain it, believing in one another?
Take it away, Herman.
By God's grace.
By God's grace. By the grace of God.
By the grace of God. That's why we are here.
Wow. 40 years in business, 40 years in marriage.
43.
43 years in marriage.
43 and a half years, actually.
Wow. How many years in public life?
Went into public office, took over as a mayor, August.
9 years.
It's 9 years now.
9 years, yeah.
I mean, after all of this pivoting, right? Not many marriages last this long, not many partnerships last half as long. And yet you've managed to keep each other, not just as husband and wife, business partners, life partners, friends, because you can see there's a friendship here, pillars of strength. This journey, what's the next step now? What's next for Connie and Herman Mashaba?
I think the first thing for us is the friendship. We've been friends for a long time. Relationships goes up and down. You know, that doesn't mean that we've never had any challenges. We've had a lot of challenges, but because of the friendship that we have, we respect one another. We trust one another. When we don't agree, but we agree. You know. Yes.
And I think we were also fortunate by the fact that Connie was the first girlfriend I ever introduced to my family, to my mother. You know, I was at university. I wrote a letter to my mother to say, hey, I've got a friend visiting me for a weekend. Do you have a problem? And clicked with my mother. And then she introduced me to her parents. They became my parents as well. And we were still babies at that time. I was, 18, 19, whatever. So I think that also really contributed a lot to to our relationship, because it had the support from both
families.
Both families. Yeah.
So there's no secret here. It's just the transparency you have. You can feel it, that you've built the trust brick by brick over the years, and being honest and earning each other's trust.
Yes. We try. It's not easy, especially in business and in relationships, but we try. As I said, for me, the pillar of our relationship is the friendship.
I just got wrapped on my knuckles for saying at the time. We've actually gone over time. I really don't want to end this conversation, you can tell, because I feel like we have so much to learn from you. The book is out, and we can't wait to get our hands on it. Wrap it up for us, Herman.
Thank you so much, Zai and SAFM team, everybody, for really giving us, Connie and I, this platform to engage our people, our fellow South Africans. And let's all really pray to God to really give us the wisdom to save this beautiful country of ours.
And in homage to Women's Month.
Thank you, SAFM, and thanks to the women of South Africa who made us what we are today. They are the ones who bought our products. And I just want to wish them everything of the best and let them take care of themselves.
Celebrating 40 years of Black Like Me.